Hi, I'm Kevin Winkler. I'll be your host today on No Middle Ground, a show of news, commentary, and prophetic insight. And so today, as the title declares, there's no middle ground, meaning we're either on God's side or we're on the enemy's side. There's no room for half a foot in the kingdom and a half foot in the devil's area. We're on God's side or we're not. And so today it's coming from a perspective of being on God's side and kind of what's going on in the news and in the culture and into prophetic insight. And so we're going to bring some information to you. One particular thing I want to bring to you today specifically, and I'm going to have to talk a lot in code because we're on a lot of different platforms, and these platforms have people who have written algorithms and little bots that go and try to find key words, key things that we're talking about on these platforms so they can ixnay on your channel A and get rid of you because they don't want the truth. And if you've listened to my message from even this past Sunday, May the last Sunday of May, it talks a lot about the information warfare that we're in. So today we're going to be talking about a specific area that's going on in the United States, well, around the world actually, and the premise of this whole thing is demonic in nature, nefarious, evil, and wicked. This was not something that just happened in nature. This was something that was planned and orchestrated by some very evil forces that are involved in the lives of human beings. And so it's just the way it is. I'm going to talk in code, and so that some of the platforms algorithms don't pick this up, because we are in information war, and getting the truth out there is part of the fight here. Is getting the truth out there, because there are some very bad people who are trying to deliberately block the truth from the people, because as the people become informed, they make informed decisions and they lose their control. And this is all going back to the demonic realm, where even in Genesis, Satan was already started the information warfare when he said, did God really say? And trying to question the authority, trying to question the right, what God was up to, and and all this kind of stuff. So today's episode really it really sparked my interest from a tweet that was posted, and this is from Megyn Kelly, saying this is absurd. We are, and I don't know if y'all can read that, but anyway, let me just, I don't know if you can read that at all. Just this top little line right there. I don't know if you can read that. This is absurd. We are not 2 through 11-year-olds until they're, and she said no. And I wanted to look at that because that's really, there's a lot of people out there that are really becoming very upset with all this, that, the science has shown that this particular thing doesn't affect little ones. It's so minute. We're going to shut down the highways and take people's cars away because of the relatively high number of fatal wrecks and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about? And so now we're taking something that was a man-engineered, man thing that was released on the world to basically put us in a bondage by these people because they were losing control. And so are we really going to either a 2 to 11-year-old is going to have to be for the rest of their life, or they're going to have to get this? That's like a threat. And we have seen this kind of thing in history past. You and I, if you're old enough, you'll be a little bit closer to the time this happened. This really kind of happened in Germany back in the late 30s and into the 40s. And in a moment, I'm going to have an article that's brought up. Take into consideration what the statement was, what that tweet was that was said right there. And if it didn't come out clean, I'll have my staff put it on there about what we're going to do with 2 through 11-year-olds, one of the least likely part of the population to get this, but this is a control thing. This is a control issue. And so we're either going to have to, restrain them, muzzle them, whatever you wanted to mark them, basically, or they're going to get this. And it's like these people are saying no, and there's a lot of people waking up to that. But there's something even more sinister behind all of this. And so as I was looking at that, it's like, that is crazy. So what popped in my head was what the Germans did back in the socialistic Germans, the socialists, back in Germany in the 30s, when they began putting those stars on the Jewish people. And that was a kind of a mark, a kind of a distinguishing factor. It's almost like you're going to wear that, or you're going to become a Nazi, or you're going to become you're going to have to renounce your faith, or something. Even other religions, you either convert from Christianity to this, or you get, it's the same kind of tactics, just a different thing. But it's happening here in the United States, which we never thought we would see here. Fortunately, we have a very strong constitution, and it's a very large country, and our founding fathers, who through the influence of the Lord God, wrote our Constitution, wrote all these things back down in the days when God was feared, for times like this, to withstand this kind of overthrow. And we all know that this country is trying to be overthrown by a bunch of socialist, communist people. And so I pulled up the article about why the Jewish people had to wear the stars. And in a moment, I'm going to allow that to come on the screen, and we're going to take a few moments, maybe a little music in the background, and I want you to read that in light of that tweet by Megyn Kelly about the little kids and what how you're and how this, and then it goes up to the adults with some of the stuff we're seeing from the CDC, who has zero authority of making law. The CDC does not make law, and in this country, the legislators are the only ones that make law in this country. We, the people, are in charge, not the CDC. They can make recommendations, but most of those recommendations are flawed anyway, and that's just the facts. You can go through all these people coming out, whistleblowers, and saying about all the stuff that they're putting in those things, damaging. Anyway, we won't get into that, but I want you to read this article and think about what they're saying now. You're either going to be fully, or you're going to have to be for the rest of your life. You choose. You want freedom? Then you're going to have to get this. Why? Or you're going to have to be marked. You're going to have to be marked. That's a mark. That's a thing. It doesn't even work. They've already debunked this. A lot of very big name medical people have also come out. How come the people with medical degrees and all kinds of acronyms after their name, all kinds of letters after their name, they don't know what they're talking about, and they're world-renowned people, and these other people all of a sudden are the ones that don't even have a medical degree are able to influence, because it's this. And that's the God of this world is silver and gold. The God of this world is silver and gold, and people get bought with that. Anyway, so read this article, and then we'll come back and allow and talk about this, okay? Here. Okay, so history repeats itself. These people mark these other people, and right now, who are the people that are trying to gain control again? The socialists, the communists. That's the whole group of those people right there that think like that. Okay, and so they're trying to do it, but in a different fashion. How do you think that we had no idea that like if the Antichrist was to be rising to power? No perfect. There's a perfect way to get control of the country, over the world, just to do something like this. Through a medical thing. But I don't believe it's time for the Antichrist, and I don't believe it's the end of the world yet. I think God is going to overthrow all this, but you and I have to be diligently to stand our ground. They are not going to be able to get us all. There's too many of us. There's too many of us like you and I that are not going to do this anymore. I wear this. If I did wear that, it would be for me. Okay? You wear that for you. Okay? If I want to get this, I'll get that for me. If you get that, that's for you. But you don't mandate myself. Remember the whole platform of the D Party? The D Party was all about when they want to take a in the and I'm talking in code so we don't get thrown off the channel. The little thing that's in here. A woman. When she and they grow in there. And they call healthcare my body, my choice, my body. Well, this is inconvenient. Let's just wait now until they're out on a table and stuff like that. And all that stuff that's going on in the United States of America, in this country, and so what happened to my body, my choice, my body, my choice, my body, my choice? That only works if you're a D Party and you're trying to destroy something that's the most precious thing in the gift from God. And so that's the kind, and see, that's common sense to me and common sense to you, but not to these crazy people. And so I've got two more pictures here that I want to put side by side, and Rachel, bring them up. One is the not so good doctor with the thing, and another one is a thing up there. And I'm trying to again talk in code to help you so that we can stay on as long as we can on these different shows and platforms so we can get the truth out there. You're either going to get this or you're going to get that. You're either going to get this or you're going to get that. There's if you don't get this, because we're telling you to get this, even though it's experimental and there's so much bad science and so many reactions. Why are they pushing that? Why? It's my body, my choice, your body, your choice. We make our own thing. And somebody I know is having to go get recertified in HIPAA. And now they want to try to do this little papers. You must be wearing this unless you've gotten completely done that. And where's your papers to prove it? We're seeing a repeat in society. And you and I have an opportunity to stop this nonsense. We're in a different age now where back in those days it was easier to control because there wasn't so many different kind of, there wasn't the technology there for the information outlets. But now in our world, there's a lot of information that we can get through a lot of different things. It's just going to have to be, are we discerning the truth enough to stand our ground and look at the other side? There is a lot of science and sound science with against that. And there's a lot of sound science that said that does not work. The little thing is too small and all this. It's a mark. It's a mark, guys and gals. It's a mark. If you have some kind of medical thing or whatever, and you're in a high-risk category, by all means, you do whatever you think is necessary. But your choice on what you do has nothing to do with me, and mine has nothing to do with you as far as that's concerned. And they're trying to divide the people. Those who against those who and those who will do neither. Okay? And if this works so much, then why do you need everybody else to do it? And if this works so much, why do you still do this? It's a bunch of garbage, guys. A bunch of garbage. You do whatever you want. I'm not an expert, but I am going, and there's a lot of discernment in our hearts that this was kind of a means to an end. And this means to an end was to overthrow this great land. You know what? God's not having it. He is going to rescue us, but it's up to us to also stand our part and to say what needs to be said and stand our ground. There's some great men and women around the United States who are in leadership roles who are standing their ground. People in the pulpit and people in the military, and people that are politicians, and people and all around the world who stand their ground, who are not buying into this stuff. We just showed you about what they're trying to do, but they can't get us all. You know, sorry, and we're not buying it anymore. Okay. So it's pretty big, no middle ground. I hope that you, I know it wasn't maybe as long as normal, just trying to get the message out, Don't buy into all this stuff. If you need some resources, if you need us to share with you some other source information so you can make an informed decision, which is part of our medical system, is to make an informed decision and to consent to the medical stuff. Okay? It's not in the nature of our Constitution and country to force anybody to do that to anybody. Okay? Or to force somebody to shut your face is really what they're saying. You shut up and you don't speak. You know. It should fire you up. It should make you mad. And so I'm one person, you're one person, you know what, and it's one person after one person after one person getting the information out there. God's protecting us, He's helping us. This is all going to be overthrown by His great mighty hand. I hope that you're a part of that overthrow with God. And you know, if you're not, then I'm sorry. All right, God bless you. Oh, if you need some information, you need us to put you on some other information to help you, just you can go to AliveMediaNetwork.tv, and in the contact area, let us know that you're looking for this information. The website address will be at the end of this program. Also, you can email us from there and to get the information. We would love to try to keep you informed as well through other medical personnel, other people that are pretty smart people who are trying to be silenced. And why are they trying to silence other smart people? Anyway, God bless. Bye-bye.